This is an update. So the officer who decided to arrest a 10-year-old child has now been fired. Let me give you the background. I'll put it up full mass. This was such a sad, sad story. In Mississippi, a 10-year-old child named Quantavious was sentenced Tuesday in youth court to 3 months probation. A decision the child's attorney says was influenced by race after the child was arrested for relieving himself behind his mother's car. All right, he's a child. The third grader was arrested by the Senatobia Police Department August 10th after a police officer saw the child relieving himself outside next to his mother's car when the woman was inside an attorney's office, okay? According to attorney Carlos Moore, given the circumstances, any child would have done the same thing, noting as well that there was no public restroom available. Or continued, quote, he did what any reasonable person would do. He urinated next to the car behind the door, not exposing himself to anyone. He would not have been arrested, prosecuted, or sentenced if he was any other color, race besides black. Now remember, we're talking about a child, okay? There's more. Moore said he is baffled that an arrest was made, that prosecutors then pursued the case, and that a youth judge this week oversaw a sentence that included probation and requires Quantavious to write a 2-page report about Kobe Bryant. We are not going to appeal. He will not have a criminal record. This is probation, and he is a fan of Kobe Bryant. So he doesn't mind writing the 2-page report, Moore said. Quantavious was charged in youth court with being a child in need of supervision, Moore said. The child is required to check in with the probation officer once a month for 3 months, Moore said, but still the principle of it. He should not have to do anything. He should be enjoying his Christmas holiday like other kids, end quote. Put up the family. So you have Miss Latanya Eason on the right, the child's mother said Wednesday, she's not sure if her son's skin color influences arrest and the decisions made in youth court, but she said her son has been mistreated every step of the way. The arrest has also resulted in her son not trusting the police and now being scared of them because of their own actions. The police chief, Richard Chandler, appeared to comment on the child's arrest in August. It was a statement posted on the department's Facebook page, read in part, quote, several of our officers were recently involved in an incident that involved a 10-year-old juvenile. The officer's decision violated our written policy and went against our prior training on how to deal with these situations. Okay? Chandler added that one of the officers was no longer employed at the department and the other would be disciplined and the department would have mandatory juvenile training, just as we do every year. Sir, you don't think, put his picture back up. Sir, you don't think they knew the damn training? You do the training every year. You mean out of all of those police officers who are investigators, by the way, all of those investigators did not remember the training about how to handle children. All of them forgot it. Issa said on the day of her son's arrest that while officers chose not to handcuff him, they put him in a jail cell. She recalled the responding officer being close to letting the child go with a warning after speaking with her. The officer told her she handled it like a mom. Just make sure it doesn't happen again. However, several more officers showed up, including a lieutenant who made the courageous decision to arrest a 10-year-old for peeing. These are damn cowards. Moore said he plans to file a federal lawsuit next month against the city and against the arresting officer. The lawsuit would claim that during the arrest, the child's rights were violated under the Fourth Amendment, which protects against unreasonable searches and seizures. We're talking about a child having a major civil rights constitutional case in front of him now. Oh, don't worry. He's going to write about Kobe Bryant. That's going to make it better. Not one entity in this entire system paused for a moment and said, what are we doing? What the hell are we doing? The cop who arrested him, he's fired because what he did was wrong. How does a prosecutor then say what he did is right? How does a judge, a youth judge, a juvenile judge then say what that cop did was right and give this young man 3 months? Issa said justice in her eyes would mean that no other child would have to go through something similar. Quote, I want to make sure this doesn't happen again, she said, no matter the color or who you are, no child, regardless of color, she says, should have to go through that. And I completely concur. We're going to follow the story. I'm looking forward to reviewing the lawsuit and also getting these cops under deposition. All right, Jordan, thoughts here?
Just, you stunned me with several officers on the scene for a 10-year-old relieving himself. Like, give me a break. So out of curiosity, I looked up this town in Mississippi. It's a population of 7,550. And they have more police officers, they have more funding for that police department in a town of 7,550 than 73% of police departments nationwide. What? Think about that. Think about the use of resources that they're allocating here. Anything else they could be doing to improve the city, to improve, tree canopy, to improve lighting, to improve roadways, fixing potholes, whatever you want to do. They're pumping money into the police department more than 73% of districts or precincts in the country. And this is what it looks like. Multiple officers responding to a 10-year-old going to the bathroom. Like this, what a absolute waste. I almost cursed. I was so angry about it. But good Lord, I hope this family finds justice. Ridiculous.
Yeah. We're going to stay on top of it. Obviously, it's sadistic what these officers did and what the system did after that. Okay.